Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of Zede Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, Zede and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Anyway, welcome.
Not a problem.
Oh, this is going to be double broadcast.
Yeah.
This is going to be on the Self
Like
Sewn
triple
Wardrobe.
broadcast,
And,
almost.
yes, triple broadcast.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host,
Mary.
Mallory Donahue, and
Hey, Hillary.
and Zede Donahue, right?
Zede Donahue.
Right. So this is going to be Sewing Out Loud and Self Sewn Wardrobe.
Tracy and Betsy.
And Kim. So we're and Cherise.
My love. Donna Sue.
Okay.
Sewing police.
I gotta stop coughing into the microphone. So today we're doing like a double
Fred.
episode. Hey Fred, how's it going? All right. So as you can see,
Do you see that? We're just throwing crap on the
it
floor.
was trash.
This is
It's
our
trash.
second to last day
Ah,
in our brick and mortar store. And Carmen and Stephanie, that's why we have tiaras on.
that's right.
Because when Mallory was a small child, in order to get her to help me clean the house, we would wear tiaras. So we only cleaned when we wore tiaras.
That's right. So today
Lonnie,
today is Zede's AMA and
which I understand that all of the medical people thought it was against medical advice.
or American Medical Association.
Because, oh no,
Yeah,
Hillary's
you're
here.
in the
Yeah, I am. I know. So I am here.
You're too loud.
I'm a loud person. So I
Hey
am
Charlotte, I haven't seen you in a while.
Come here, smelly it.
here to bomb this.
What do you buy?
Because just listen. Okay, so
Smelly it.
like I don't know. Where is the camera? There it is. So Riley sends me this Facebook message like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
That he wants to be your father.
Well, that's it. But
Stepdad Riley.
apparently Riley and Sandy and some other people had
Saska people.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Skaskies. The
whatever.
Skaskies.
But they had started this group, a secret group, because they wanted to surprise you guys.
Uh-oh.
Because they love you guys so much, and they think that everything you're doing is so fabulous. Okay? I know, right? It's because they're related to me. And so they had all these ideas, and they brought me in as their spy. All right? So they decided they wanted to give you guys a card shower. So I have all of these cards that have been mailed to my house. Now, this is not all of them, because like I know there's one from France coming that hasn't made it yet, and there are some from Canada.
Good.
And there's one that like Mickey and Pluto and all of them signed. So there's, I think, roughly 40 cards there right now.
Oh my gosh.
But like, we can't believe we haven't blown this. Like,
No.
oh my God, it's been so hard.
I
so hard.
Did you know about it? Did you know about it, Smelly it?
have never been so surprised in my
Me
life.
neither. Nobody
and my
surprises
husband
me.
flew to Paris and proposed to
He
me,
really did.
and I was not. Holy.
So
Yeah.
Not opening these has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Cardapalooza, you're right.
It has
Hi,
been-
Jackie.
Oh my
Jackie, you were here
gosh.
yesterday.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, I know, she was in on it. Totally in on it. It was so hard, so hard.
Oh my
Lauren was
gosh.
there.
Lauren.
She was in on it.
Guys.
Riley. There was a whole bunch of people.
This is so.
Okay, so we have to make
Nice.
a decision. Are we going to read all these?
Well,
like,
I don't
on
think
air?
we're gonna like them all. I think what we can do here, real quick, they have return address labels on them,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we could say thank you real quick. Oh, Patty. Patty's local, and I haven't seen her in a while.
Oh.
So I'm good. I'm Patty Poppingay.
Diana Hyatt.
Diana, I love you. Oh my gosh. Okay, Erin Beauchamp.
Okay.
Hi, Erin.
But what about these ones
Hi
that
to
I'm-
the whole daycare.
Erin-
Erin's with the whole daycare.
Oh,
Say hi to the
okay.
whole
Hi,
daycare.
Hi, kids.
Oh,
There you go.
I don't know if
Elliot
you know who this
Karen
is.
was in on it.
Josie.
Josie is from LA Finch Fabrics.
Oh,
That's who runs
Maldonado.
Maldonado. Maldonado.
Maldonado from LA.
Guys, Betsy.
Betsy. Uh-oh.
Here,
Uh-oh.
look at this.
No
is
return address, but it is from Albuquerque.
Oh my gosh.
Who's in Albuquerque?
I'm not sure who this
Not
one's.
Cherise. Who's in Albuquerque?
I'm not sure. Well,
Fred.
Is it Janelle?
Go Canada.
Is it Janelle? And
Sandy Frazier. Patty
think-
Jones.
Nancy. tiara falling down.
Diane here.
I'm not sure who this one's from.
Okay, not a return address.
I can't read that one either.
Dawn,
Garden City,
where wine?
Oh my gosh. Henderson.
This one says
yeah.
just Stein.
Look, Cinda Gallican.
but it's from Columbia, Missouri. Who do we know that's the last name?
Paula Stein.
Oh, Paula Stein.
Paula Stein. Cinda Gallican, she's my
Okay,
teacher.
I think this
My
one
teacher.
has money in it. Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren.
Lauren. This one
The
must.
tape job on this is epic.
Okay, it took $1. It took $1.40.
She
and
spent
it's
money on
And
us.
there's a gold label. I think there's.
This
like,
is from
money
your
in
new
here.
husband, Riley.
My future husband. My
Cute,
next
whatever.
husband. He's my next
Oh,
husband.
this is from Lonnie. She's sending Soport. She says,
Soport.
my sister made this postcard. I have a cool sister, too. Insert perfect sticker here.
Oh, and
This is beautiful.
Cinda.
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah,
Cinda.
Yeah. Kimberly, Kim Scherer, Ruth Wilson. Oh, Ruth loved to.
Henderson.
hello.
What's the first name on Henderson?
So
You're better
this
than
one
me.
is from Lindsay.
I know who Lindsay is on. Yeah,
What's
so
this
Lindsay,
again?
so.
Look at the next one.
Oh, it's from Goofy and Pluto.
and
Mickey
Donald
Mouse.
and Mickey.
Guys, this is ridiculous. Like I just have no I have no
I don't know.
words.
Turner from
my-
Garden City, Kansas.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. Mary
Yeah.
Cleveland, Karen Derbies, Luana Pusey.
Oh, look at-
yeah.
Karen Derby is like,
Bledsoe.
this is like a Southern girl stationery.
Zede and Mal. I'm not sure who this one's from.
Okay, give me the not return addresses.
Noah and Donna. Oh my gosh, how crazy is this?
This is like I said. We
How
know there's more
crazy.
coming.
This is Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
This one is New Orleans.
Stop.
Nolans.
Nolans.
Oh my gosh.
I'm taking
Everybody.
this one home and opening it
How
by myself because I know there's money in here.
is it just
It's
no, it
my
says,
money.
It says Zede and Mallory. Okay.
No. Look, it says Zede. See, it says Zede down. If you do. Look
Oh my
like
gosh, this is so sweet.
that. Okay, I don't know if anybody's ever. The other thing next to this nicest that somebody did for me is my husband got me a remote starter for my car, and that was in
That
the
was really
90s
cool.
when nobody had it.
Oh my gosh.
This is
Well,
amazing.
This is very nice of
Okay.
you all.
Like,
I
we
had-
probably should open them in private and see how much we cry.
I know I'm already crying a little bit
Well,
because I
we're-
cry
we're
now.
gonna have to think about how we're going to share these with everybody.
I don't know what to say, everybody. Thank you.
I can't believe, Elliot Smelly, when you were at my house on my yoga hammock, did you know about this?
Oh, he's known about it for like 2 weeks.
You guys did
he
a good
doesn't
job.
keep any-
And they,
Oh, no,
yeah,
my
they're not
kids
good at
cannot
keeping
keep
secrets.
secrets.
Like I
No,
wasn't good at keeping
no,
secrets when I was
no.
little either. So for
New
those
Orleans is her cousin Maggie. Thank you.
So for those of
Hi, Maggie.
for those of you who are just joining in, I just want to say we Hillary crashed the live broadcast
and we were totally freaked out.
and gave us these surprise cards. There are like 40 cards here, and she says
Yeah.
more are
There
coming.
are definitely more.
And
on
when
the
it's
way.
coming from
okay,
France,
this is more
so-
mail than goes
yeah.
through her town in like a year.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are helping the
One day there
Fayette
was
post office.
2 U.S. postal trucks driving through our town, and I was like, well, it has to be all the mail for Mom and Mallory. I tried to get a picture of it to put in our secret group,
Right.
but it didn't come out right. But yeah, 2 whole trucks. I'm so excited. It never happens.
Oh my
I
gosh!
don't know. I want to know if Lauren thinks I should open this, like,
Should she open
on
it, Lauren?
air.
Lauren Durr, what you think?
Elliot.
Because it's so
Are
sick.
you making faces?
It's going like this in the background.
Ha. She just
Lauren
says,
says
ha.
ha. I don't know.
Oh, is it going to spring out?
Okay.
Say, is it inappropriate?
Is it like live worms or something?
Okay, that's
or-
just the stamp. I thought maybe it
Okay,
was like
no.
a switch or something.
Betsy Rogers, yes, separate video. I think you're right.
Oh. Lauren says go for
Is
it.
it gonna
Good.
sing?
I'm going
Oh,
for it.
No, it's got fabric in it.
Oh, here. Can you
Look,
pull?
look, look, look.
Oh!
Fabric.
Oh, okay.
It's her jeans fabric.
Lauren says, I am all about you right now. And
This is like the color of money.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Better than money.
Gorgeous.
So this is her hand-dyed, ice-dyed denim that she made her jeans
Yeah,
out of.
we carry
Oh,
the
Hillary,
you,
Amanda,
Karen.
Amanda. Like I thought I was your
Yeah,
favorite.
who is the favorite?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sam's watching. Sam, did you
Yeah.
know? Did Sam know about
Sam
this?
know
I
about
don't
this?
know. I
So
haven't talked
nobody
to
at the
Sam or
shop.
Becca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because well,
Yeah.
Sam we'll go through all these. I bet you get mentioned in something.
Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. This
I'm
is
all
so
about
sweet.
you. I love this. I love
Oh
this.
man.
All right.
Okay.
Someone
We're
go
gonna go sit over
grab
there
that
and
phone
watch
and
the
silence
live.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are wonderful.
So I had on my tiara, and I thought it was my glasses, and I tried
Silence
to
it,
read
Catherine.
through my tiara. It didn't work.
Okay. So that was
Surprise!
that was a really big surprise.
Surprise!
We had no idea.
Okay.
So what today was originally just gonna be.
I think we were talking about AMA.
That's
and
right.
Some of our cohorts who especially are like medically oriented, AMA is like used for against medical advice.
Right.
So if you had, a lot of times you'd have a patient like that would elope and want to go out without being discharged medically, and you would have to come up with an AMA form, or you would try and get them to sign an AMA form. But anyway, so to all my medical cohorts out there, this could become a medical situation if these questions are too hard.
Maybe. Okay, so we got the AMA started. Man, guys,
So
I had
AMA means ask me anything.
ask me
right?
anything. So I've got some from yesterday. I'm trying to calm down a little
I
bit.
know. You can't
Zede,
even read, can
a
you?
few people asked you who taught you to sew.
Okay.
And there are a lot of questions. So,
I'll try and be quick.
Yeah.
Well, and there is a podcast about it.
Yes,
About
there
how
is.
I and basically I'm pretty much self-taught. My dad bought me a machine when I was 13. Guy came to our house, showed me how to use the machine, and that night my dad and I made a skirt and I wore it to school the next day. So
That's pretty
where,
cool.
That's where the machine sewing started. I made myself a scarecrow tunic when I was like 8 by hand sewing.
That was your first ever.
But there is an episode on our podcast. I don't know what it's titled.
It's called Zede's origin story, I think.
Oh, is
as
it?
though you're a superhero.
Like I have an origin.
Yeah.
You're not the boss of me and run out.
That's what she says, that the people who want to run out of the
And
hospital.
some of them are doing the right thing.
Sandy says, when did you start aerial yoga?
We just talked about this the other day in yoga class. So somebody asked me, and I think it was September.
Oh, like of 2016.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not very
Well,
not
what
very long
happened
ago.
is, the paddleboard class was over, and I had to take something else
Oh, okay.
because I was doing yoga on the paddleboard, and then they were rehabbing the pool.
And then you needed
and
something
so I
else.
was like, well, if I can't, be on water, I can fly, right?
Yeah. So, next question. What is the best? This is from Julianne in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I know that. What is the best piece of sewing advice you ever got and gave?
That I ever got. I don't know. I think this might have been, I'm trying to think who it was from, but I think it sort of started, it was in St. Louis, and I don't know if anybody knows who Eunice Farmer is, but she was a legend, and she was a syndicated sewing columnist, and she had a store in St. Louis, and I think I started learning about needles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that evolved to thread. So I realized what the quality of the stitch really meant, and I've become obsessed with it.
So,
I mean, I don't know if that's the best,
Oh,
but
well-
it's the most significant in my particular.
so learning about there are
and
different
what
needles
did
and
I
stuff.
give? I think probably the best thing advice I've ever really given is, thread with your presser foot up.
Right.
It's it would be my tattoo if I had one.
Oh, Amanda says she knows who Eunice Farmer was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good,
Great.
good.
Great.
She was from St. Louis.
Yeah. So
Grew up with her.
and her daughter I think had
Her daughter.
a store until very
Still,
recently.
I think maybe it's still open. I'm
Yeah,
not
I can't-
sure.
I can't
But,
remember.
Vicky is her daughter.
Yeah.
And she still has a store in St. Louis.
Kathy asks a question, and I know that she may not get the best answer.
Uh-oh.
What are some inexpensive sources of fabric to be used for mock-ups when making a knit garment?
Well, when you see something really cheap, buy it.
Yeah.
Especially if you think it's ugly, or maybe it was ugly to someone else.
Uh-huh.
But I would buy that when it's $1 a yard, $2 a yard. Here in Columbia, we still have fabric at Walmart,
Uh-huh.
and they'll have a $2 table, and that's when I buy that, and I don't expect it to be a garment. I expect it to be a mock-up.
Yeah, you buy it. You're like, I'm going to use this as a test garment, as a muslin or whatever.
Right.
Aaron asks,
Tattoos. Yes, Kim.
I know. I see the thread with your press your foot up tattoos
I know.
and enamel pins.
Actually,
That's
there's
awesome.
something you're really going to like in the works about the presser foot.
Yes.
And it's a series of things. Or a collection.
I don't know, but yeah.
Collection, I'm sorry.
Aaron Beauchamp asks, what was Zede's most challenging project ever that made her use the most sewing words? I mean, we just call it cussing. But
or changing your religion on
or
a
whatever.
project. I'm sure there's been more. Well, Hillary, remember when we cut the circle skirts wrong? But that wasn't a challenge, but it was a lot of, we were making like 32 circle skirts and they had to be done in 3 days, and Hillary was helping me cut. She was home from break from college. And somehow we got a wrong measurement, and I cut the opening, the waist, too big. Like it would have fit, the Hungry Hippo or something.
Yeah.
And, you only have so much fabric, and these were 3 layers, mind you. Those white
The white ones, yeah.
And so when you cut wrong triply, and I was cutting like...
In triplicate?
Yes, I was cutting like 9 layers at a time or whatever. And I remember Hillary's face like just kind of started to melt because we didn't know if it was her fault, my fault, his fault. And I just said, I'll be okay. And I stood back and said the bomb word, like 14 times, like at different, using different octaves and tones and everything. And then I said, I'm fine now. And we went ahead and we solved the problem. But that was the most swearing one.
Carmen, this is a light question before a heavy question. Carmen asks, what are you currently sewing?
I'm always currently sewing something, okay? And one of the processes I do is like I was making a dog bed, and there's a certain kind of dog bed.
Zede's always sewing a dog bed.
I'm always sewing a dog bed. So when I make a dog bed, I will cut 2 dog beds and probably finish one and have another one in a plastic, bag so that I can sew it again. So I know I have one of those. I finished all of Hillary's pants. Elliot has a, what's that? Yeah, who?
Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
From the Jungle Book. And I think we've actually come up with kind of a pretty good costume idea, haven't we, Hillary? So that's what when you say sewing, I'm sewing in my head on it. So that's the newest project.
Okay, now, Fred, of course, this comes from Fred. If Zede could go back in time to change the course of sewing in her life, what would she do differently and why?
Now, take this with a grain of salt. I would be meaner and charge more.
All right.
And that is the advice I would give to anybody that's sewing for anybody. I think I was too nice and I didn't charge enough.
Well, that might relate to this question from
okay.
Charisse. What's the number one piece of advice she would give someone wanting to start their own brick and mortar business?
Ooh, brick and mortar.
So I don't know if she's talking
I don't know
about...
if you want to be general business or sewing business, but, well, first of all, don't think it's going to be easy. Don't think you're going to just be the boss, because you're going to clean toilets too.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody calls in sick, it's you. When somebody doesn't show up, it's you. When you hire somebody to clean the bathroom and they don't show up, it's you. The buck truly stops at you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that doesn't have to be bad. I
No.
mean, that's not particularly
But
bad.
I guess I think,
But it's consuming.
no one asked me this question. I think, like, keep it simple. Really try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Again, I think we should have charged more and been
meaner.
Yeah.
But-
That might be a pin
Yeah.
or a
try-
tattoo. That was Daniel, yes.
Yeah, that was Daniel. Yeah,
yes.
Fred was asking. That's Daniel. So,
I
yeah.
was going to say the two Aaron impressed with.
They're
Oh,
impressed with my
were you
French
both shocked?
pronunciation.
Yeah. Merci.
Merci. Okay.
I'm
So,
losing my crown.
I know mine's slipping out.
Yeah.
My hair's too clean. Doesn't happen often. Okay. We have a question from Riley. What's your
My
favorite?
next husband.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to sew? I mean, type of thing: shirts, pants, costumes, dog pillows, etc.
It probably has to be costumes. And I like costumes with a twist. Like remember the costume we made a few years ago where the dress started out,
Like color changed.
it started out black and turned to green? Yeah, it was in Catherine's dance recital. So they came to us with this idea that they wanted this dress to be black, and then they twirled and it opened up and turned green. So, that kind of challenge.
Costuming always lets you
Right.
have it.
Costuming,
New
when
challenge.
people say to me, oh, I started like sewing on Barbie clothes. Well, I started sewing on big people clothes, but they were like Barbie clothes because, they needed boas or feathers or, something bizarre about them, right? So I really I think the costuming is the most fun.
Well, I think that's all the questions, unless someone
Really?
else has. Yeah, I screenshotted the whole thing to look at it. A couple people were asking who taught you to sew, and
Yeah.
And Lonnie said I should already know this. Some people already knew your origin story. But yeah, you can keep asking questions, and Mom, you can answer them on Facebook. You're allowed now.
I can.
Now you're allowed. Now
Now
that
I
we've
can,
had
now
this
I can.
podcast, So I'm really excited. Oh, favorite child. Who's your favorite child?
Who? Elliot. Apparently, it's Elliot.
Elliot
You
says
just said
him.
me. For all of you that have multiple children, your favorite child is the one who's alone in the car with you at that moment.
You would always yell at us when we were alone in the car with you.
Well, I had
Hillary's.
had you trapped.
Yep,
Hillary's
you're
going,
like,
yeah.
oh, I got something to yell at this kid about. I'll wait till we're in the car.
What's my least favorite part of sewing?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Probably having to be like interrupted or not being able to take something to fruition. That I think everybody has that feeling.
Yeah, except some people hate tracing.
I know. Tracing is easy.
Back
Tracing
me
is
up
like
here.
nothing.
Back me up here, because I feel like I'm always defending it.
Yeah.
And maybe people might think that, like, you don't trace. Tell them you trace. Do you trace?
I
Zede?
trace if I use a pattern.
Yeah, right. If you use a pattern.
Melanie
Yeah.
will tell you sometimes I just use a rotary cutter and then sew.
Team no trace. Team trace.
Yeah.
I need to do a little.
There's probably those who trace and those who wish they had traced.
I mean, people
I
are all
don't
like,
know.
I'd rather reprint out, and I'm like, well, okay.
The other thing about tracing is it let you learn the pattern. It lets you learn there's just a lot. I can trace a pattern like in 2 seconds.
Yeah, whatever works for
It's
you. But
pretty
yeah,
fast.
we're
Yeah.
we're decidedly.
Isn't Lonnie one of our problem children there?
Lonnie is definitely a
Yeah.
problem child on the tracing.
I hate when I can't finish a pot.
Carmen's
Yeah.
on Team Trace.
She's on Team
Shanika's
Trace.
on Team No Trace. I don't know if she's watching right now, but she said hashtag
Carmen,
Team No Trace.
who has my favorite name in the whole world,
Yep,
is on Team
yep.
Trace.
Yep, exactly.
Look at Karen, so
Karen-
time consuming.
Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Hey, Stephanie, you can do a group poll since you're my VA.
Yeah.
Um,
What? Oh, Karen
Yeah,
drinks
drinking.
beer while she
Okay,
traces.
I
She
tried-
doesn't even know how long it takes
Okay,
her.
I tried.
Riley, Lonnie leads
Team No Trace. I tried to explain to Lonnie, she's always about the sewing beers, and I said, if you trace, you get more time
with your beer.
to drink sewing beers or drink whatever, We might need to have a poll on team sewing while drinking, because, I don't really do that.
I don't usually either.
I get, like, too hot. I get... Don't you remember? We had a lock-in, and
Oh, that's right.
I
we
was-
all got hot.
I think that I was not of
I
age.
am.
I think maybe I was not of age, and I had a little bit of wine, and I was
Now Mary hates
sewing.
doing more thing than once, so she apparently
Oh.
doesn't drink and sew at the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time.
yeah. I can.
She
in
likes
fact,
to drink as one activity.
I can barely drink enough water like while I'm sewing,
I went to my friend's birthday party last weekend in St. Louis. We had to drive there, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was a fairly high-end restaurant, so I knew it was really safe in ordering a Cosmo. I knew it would be like really high-end vodka.
Yeah.
And everyone at the table started drinking Cosmos. It was
like Sex in the City.
It was amazing. And there is a gluten-free Cosmo made with Chopin vodka. It's potato vodka.
But isn't all vodka potato?
No, some of it
vodka?
has wheat in it, so you have to be careful.
Oh. Is there actually
who'da
gluten
known?
in the alcohol?
I doubt it.
Well, there's gluten-free beer, though. And
Yes,
stuff.
but that's
Oh,
because of the
yeah,
the
that's
hop.
different. Jennifer says, do you have any fabrics you hate sewing with? Tell him, Mom.
Oh,
tell
no,
him.
I have a whole podcast. Okay. And be on alert. There's a whole podcast about this, and it's totally rational, and it's fleece. Okay. But I have a whole podcast with research about this. So you just wait. You just wait till you get, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like scientific background information I'm going to like.
No, Zede just hates fleece.
Well, it's hot. It's plastic.
She hates it.
It is very, very bad for the environment.
Y'all haven't even
It's very,
heard.
very, very bad for the environment.
You haven't even heard about how much Zede hates fleece. And
And I've kept my mouth shut the whole time I've owned this brick and mortar store.
and we're not keeping our mouths shut anymore. We're going to talk about how much we hate fleece, and we're going to say hello to each and every one of you by name. Yes, we
That's
are.
right.
That's right. Where's that?
But
headband?
Riley, it is not cozy. It is sweaty and non-breathable. And well, the other thing about
No, you keep talking.
evidence-based sewing. Exactly, Lonnie. Lonnie gets me. Even if she's not a tracer, there's a lot of stuff she gets about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Lonnie, even though we have some differences, we are
Please
more alike. Yeah, we're going to talk about how much we hate it.
I'm sorry. And when somebody says, "Oh, you can make so many projects with no sew fleece," that should be an indicator.
There's okay.
Okay.
Riley's all like, Luana, that's what I was doing. Yeah, Luana caught on to my little thing. If you're but I'll say your name when you're watching the live broadcast. Hillary's covering her face. The fleece thing, Riley's like, it's so cold up here, we need fleece. There are different.
Okay, and we will talk about
There
that.
are different types of fleece.
We will talk about
Okay.
the quality, and we'll talk about what the quality of the fleece does to the environment.
There's different
Yeah.
fleeces,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Oh,
Fred
I-
says we don't
Now
understand
wait,
cold.
maybe not as much,
Maybe
but
not
it
as-
gets cold here, and it gets below zero, and but I'm older than you, and I'm hotter than you.
Kate says, what other things have you been biting your tongue on in the store? I don't know. Telling people they
Of
smell like
course,
cat
Donna
pee.
Sue, you're right.
Wool is better than fleece. Well, I mean,
What?
there could be like wool fleece.
What were we
Somebody said, what else have you been biting your tongue on when you owned the brick and mortar store?
Don't bring your machine in to get fixed when your dog has peed on the case, and then tell me it did. Okay, that made me mad.
Smelly people, and I talked about that a little a
Or-
while ago.
Or come in and use my bathroom for 20 minutes and
don't
don't
buy
even buy
anything.
anything?
Yeah. You know what that means. What else? What do people do? Oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
This was a little bit before a podcast on the weirdest customers you had. I don't know if we can really do that.
Yeah,
until
they
we know
would
they're
know
all
who
dead.
they are.
Okay. So there was I guess I'm talking about it right now. I don't know if she's in the
there
group.
was that one lady that came
So
in and wanted
lady-
a job.
Well, no, not that.
Oh.
There's a lady who came in, and she came in for Open Studio, and I was showing her how to modify a pattern. Spent a lot of time with her, and she paid for Open Studio. Okay, she paid for Open Studio,
Really pissed off.
and Zede almost lost it.
I had to leave the room.
Zede doesn't have quite as much sort of like some types of self-control as I do.
Here's what happens. When you get old, you don't care anymore.
Right. So I still have...
Okay, my next big event is death. I don't care anymore.
Okay, so I've spent all this time with her, right? And we work with tracing paper and the dressmaker's curve.
Right.
And
like you all know, and
Yeah.
many of you have actually purchased from us online.
We were very accommodating.
Don't get too identifiable.
I won't get too.
Don't say
yeah,
that.
I won't.
Yeah,
So we
that
were
would
very
be too
accommodating to
identifiable.
her. Yes, exactly. And so she says to me, so we have this ruler
in my earshot.
Yeah, in front of everybody. She goes,
Yeah, in front of other customers.
She goes, well, I know you as a brick and mortar store need to, have a certain margin on things, but can I get this stuff cheaper online? And I was like, you'll,
Well, yeah.
no, and I said, I was so good, guys. I was like, you'll have to do your own research on that. That's what I said to her.
Well, and
I was just like, what the heck? And she's like, yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. And, I looked. I think you can get the dressmaker's curve like a couple dollars cheaper. And I told her, I said, the tracing paper's kind of heavy. You'd have to pay shipping on that.
Right.
And I was like, so she got the tracing paper and not the ruler. And I thought, if you come into the store and you want to buy something online, like, duh, like, I'm not an idiot. I know people do that.
No.
But, like, why are you going to ask
You
me?
absolutely have a right to buy anything anywhere
you
you
want.
I do. Okay?
Right.
I do too. And sometimes I buy by price. Sometimes I buy because I want to support the business. Sometimes I'm looking for quality and not just price. Our connection is weak. Do you
It's
feel
okay.
weak? I don't feel weak.
weak.
Anyway, but don't come in. It's like coming into my home and saying, thanks for having me over and feeding me dinner, but I really don't like you anyway, or something. I don't know. It's like an insult. She didn't have to say that.
Yeah, right. And,
Then she could have went and bought it any place she wanted.
I wouldn't have thought about it at all, but I just thought, you're asking me to, like, tell you.
But also, Mallory had spent all this time with her, helping her
to understand how this ruler works.
and understand the pattern.
Right.
And she was redrafting this pattern for her because she wanted to do something special with it. And there was no place, probably, in the Midwest that she could have gotten that information.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happened. I mean, just don't buy it.
Stupid.
Maybe I was more offended by like I know, I see it. Maybe I was more offended by the
Shut up and buy it.
ignorance.
Yeah, I think it's the rudeness. It's not always what people do as much as, or they don't think, or everybody knows. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say everybody knows how to be kind. Apparently not.
Yeah. Well,
Apparently
anyway,
not.
our connection's getting a little weak, so I think we should wrap it up here. This will be an episode of Sewing Out Loud. So you'll get the audio, and I will upload the video here too. So if you want to go back and watch it or something like that. Once again, thank you. We could just bathe in them.
I know.
Look at all these cards. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the support. This really does mean a lot to us. I mean,
I'm going to get a Cosmo and read these.
we get to do
Par
avion means by air,
By air.
by plane from Fred Berry. So that's from Canada. Yeah. So that is very kind of you all. It keeps us going. You know?
Yeah.
Keeps us
You know,
going.
And even though we're giving up the brick and mortar, I was actually when I was blowing my hair dry this morning, I thought, I hope we get some peace out of closing the store, and it does take some of the pressure off. 'Cause
Yeah,
we've
I
kind
hope
of
it
been
does too.
burning at both ends.
Yeah, I hope it
Yeah.
does too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you sew something today. That's what I say at the end of my live broadcast. And what do you say at the end of the podcast?
What do I say? So long and so happy.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit sewhere.com.